Hey YouTube, thanks for coming and watching another edition of the Nurse Lounge. Today we're going to talk about how to choose a nursing school. So first, when you're choosing a nursing school, you want to consider a few things, what's going on in your personal life. So let's say, for instance, you have small children. You may want to choose a program in which you can get in and out of the program so that you can take care of your children, work, and then go back to school if you choose to while you are working. So a LPN program or a 2-year program, 2-year RN program may be suitable for you. So with the LPN program, they have accelerated programs in which you would be out of school in and out within 12 months. And you would then sit for your practical nurse boards and become a LPN or LVN. In that case, you could then finish that program. After you finish that program, get that degree, you would then go on to a RN program if that's what you choose. Some people will go ahead and work for the next so many years before they decide to go back to school, really to kind of see if the nursing is really what they want to do. I definitely encourage you to even become a CNA, certified nurse assistant, or a nursing assistant to see, or tech, to see if nursing is something, or healthcare is even something that you really want to get into because it is very difficult work. The 2-year RN program is 2 years in which you would have your prereqs done and your nursing classes done within that 2-year frame, and then you would sit for the NCLEX to become a registered nurse, a licensed registered nurse at that point. Or there's a 4-year program in which you would take your prereqs, and then within that 4-year period of time, you would spend between 4 to 5 semesters actually working on your nursing courses. And at the end of that, you would then sit for the registered nurse NCLEX board, and you would, upon successful completion of that, you become a registered nurse that way as well. So again, you can go to an LPN program, you can go to a 2-year program or a 4-year program. So your LPN programs are typically in like a technical school or technical college, or you could go to the 2-year programs, which are typically in a community college. And of course, your 4-year are the ones that are in the universities and colleges. So that's something you want to think about. Do I want to do, which one do I want to do? Do I just want to be a CNA? Do I want to be a LPN, 2-year RN, or 4-year RN? For the sake of the time in this video, I will not go into what those programs really entail and what the differences are. That I'll save that for another video. But again, I want to focus on how to choose a nursing school. So once you make a decision about which program that you want to go to, then you want to consider things like the cost of tuition to go to these schools. LPN programs are typically cheaper. 2-year programs are typically cheaper than 4-year programs. So those are things to keep in mind when you're considering which program do I want to go to. Also, where are the clinical sites? Virtually those 3 programs all have clinicals that you're required to attend, and you are required to attend them. So you want to think about where or find out where do they go and send clinicals at so that you'll know, is this somewhere that I want to travel to? I have known some institutions to have clinical sites that are 2 hours away from the school or from where you live. So that means if clinical starts at 6:30 in the morning, you would have to leave probably by 4:15 in order to get there on time. And then based off of that, you may have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get there on time. So that's something to consider when you're considering nursing schools and nursing in the sites where they do clinicals. Also, you want to think about looking at reviews. When you look at reviews for your phone, for your appliances, for your TV, for a car, that helps you determine whether you want to purchase that item or not. So you look at the good and you look at the bad. There is nothing different about nursing school. So you should look at your school's reviews and see what current students or past students are saying regarding that program. You also want to think about the time it's going to take you to finish. Most schools, again, if you're talking about LPN, are a 12-month to 18-month program. If you're talking about 2-year, they are 2-year programs. And for BSN, they can be a 4 to 5-year program, depending on what the requirements are for that school of nursing. With that being said, you also want to look at the NCLEX pass rates for the institution. So, for instance, my alma mater, which is Austin Peay State University, we have a 94% NCLEX pass rate for the past 5 years, or on average for the past 5 years. So that means 94% of the students who take the boards for the first time pass. You want a higher number for that. So you wouldn't want to have an NCLEX pass rate of 50%, which would mean for every student that goes in there or take their boards, half of them pass, which means the other half fail. That is problematic. That means there's something going on within that school of nursing that tells you that if students are having a 50% pass rate and the other 50% are failing, what is going on as to why we are not capturing these students in terms of making sure that they learn what they need to learn so they can be successful when they sit for the boards. So keep that in mind as well. You also want to keep in mind about out-of-state tuition. So you may say, I want to go to the best nursing school there is. However, tuition for nursing school is much, much, much higher than it is to go to school, say, for an English degree or for an art degree. Nursing school is considered to be a professional program, so therefore it's going to cost you a lot more money. If you add in the cost of out-of-state tuition, then you're going to almost exponentially, almost maybe double that amount because out-of-state tuition plus room and board for where you're going to stay. So you may want to consider staying closer to home where you have support systems in place for when you need help financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, where you can, and literally if you have children, someone can help you with your children. So you want to consider things close to home if possible. You want to consider reviews. You want to consider the NCLEX pass rate. You want to consider the type of program that you're looking for and your ultimate goals for your career path. You want to consider as well the faculty. Make sure you take some time to go do tours. So definitely go to the school that you're interested in and schedule a tour. Call and schedule a tour so that you can meet some of the faculty, so you can kind of look at some of their classroom settings. You can get a good description of what you're going to be dealing with if you attend that school of nursing. Most school of nursings actually will have tour dates for you to come, you and a parent or family member to come and just kind of check out the labs that they have on campus, check out just different things and ask questions when you're there. Definitely don't be afraid to ask questions because you need to know what you're getting yourself into. How much does it cost for this program to go? What are the requirements for graduation? What is the GPA requirements to get into the nursing school? Keep in mind, all programs have different GPA requirements. Some of them are highly competitive. So they may say on the website, you have to have a 3.0 to be considered. But if all the applicants have a 3.9 GPA and you have a 3.0 GPA, you may not make the cut because your GPA is not competitive to what they are looking at or what the applicant pool looks like. So keep those things in mind as well. Some schools have a waiting list in which you can be on the waiting list and they will let you know if the spot opens for you. So these are some things again to consider if you are in the hunt for a good nursing school. So again, to recap, reviews, campus tours, what your ultimate goals and outcomes you want to be for your career path, support systems, location, money, how much the program cost, amongst many other things to consider. But those are some of the top, things that you want to consider when you're looking at a nursing school. So that is my time for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to come to the Nurse Lounge to discuss how to find a nursing school. And I encourage you to subscribe and to comment if you have any comments or feedback. Also, hit that notification bell so that you can know when I'm going to upload and never miss an episode of the Nurse Lounge. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.